Hi everyone, welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love channel. I am Nicole. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much for all of your love, support, likes, subscribing, doing the work, challenging yourself, digging deeper within yourself, loving yourself. Thank you. It's healing for you. It's healing for me. I'm so happy we can work together to heal and become our best selves on this journey. So today's pick a card. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. It's time to remember. It's time to dig deeper. The energy is really pushing us. It's assisting us and pushing us to dig deeper, to get more clarity, to get more answers. And all of it is in here, in you. You have all of the answers. You are divine intelligence. You are divine intelligence. You have the answers to unlock yourself on a deeper level, to unlock your potential, to unlock the greatness, to unlock everything, all the tools you need on this journey called life, to be in your purpose, to be aligned with your higher self, to be in alignment with your mission. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a mission. Every living thing. So it's time to remember who you are. So we're going to get messages today. What do you need to know? What do you need to know right now for your journey? What do you need to remember? What do you need to unlock? We're just going to flow because the energy right now is either if you force it, you'll get dragged. Forcing this energy right now, the energy would drag you. Forcing or just not doing anything at all. But if you flow with the energy, this is where the magic is. This is where the success, the greatness, the jewels, the gems. You are the magic. You don't need spells. You don't need potions. You don't need any of that. You are the magic. You are the magic. You don't need these things to give you permission to already be who the hell you are. Remember who the fuck you are. That's it. It's time to wake up. Let's get with it. Let's remember who we are. Okay? So we're going to do a pile selection. I'm going to have the piles down for you. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile One. Welcome to your reading. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much for all of your love, support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for showing up for yourself. I'm proud of you. You got this. Okay, remember who you are. This is your card, surrendering to the journey. Release control. Okay. Pile One, what do you need to know? What do you need to remember? So you need to remember this. The more you release and surrender what you perceive is your way of controlling, what you perceive is like, what it is you need to do, you need to listen to your higher self. Many of you are very connected to your higher self. When I think about, I don't know, this is just me sharing wisdom here. You could resonate with it. If you do, if you don't, it's okay. But I think about like when we're on this journey and we're like connecting to our higher self, it's like we're just vibrating higher and higher and higher and higher because our higher self is all the way, up, all the way up, right? So it's like many of you are more connected to your higher self than you even realize. And your higher self is simply saying, like, just take my hand, just follow, just listen. Stop trying to control. Don't control. Don't force. Your higher self is essentially just like, I got you. You know, like, we're going to do this. We're going to be amazing. We're going to do this. Like, you and your higher self are very connected. And when you're not connected with your higher self, you feel it. This is when you're out of alignment. You feel that disconnect. And if you don't, this is probably going to activate that knowing within, like, you know when you're connected to your higher self, and you know when you've strayed off path. Many of you are very connected to your higher self. So again, your higher self is like, release even more control. Let go even more. Surrender even more. Because here on earth, our ego tells us that we have to control. We have to be in control of it. We have to do this. And we have control, but it needs to be under, it's like this, like we are in control, but it needs to be under our, you know, what we resonate with, okay? Higher power, spiritual team, your higher self, the universe, all it needs to be under that. It needs to be that, the messages you need to be connected to that part of yourself and remain in alignment with that. Many of you know who you are. You know what you're here to do. You know, like, your mission, your purpose, and what you're doing, and like you're already in it. You're already doing it. But it's like you have moments where, whether it's people in the world or the world is telling you, you need to do it like this, or you need to be like this, or you have to be in control, you this and you that. Like, I feel like it's like a chatter. It's a lot of chatter around you, or you're listening to a lot of things that you don't need to listen to because you already know, like, you're very connected, okay? And your higher self is just like, just keep holding my hand. Many of you are getting upgraded. You're being upgraded spiritually, mentally, physically, mind, body, spirit. You're being upgraded, especially like your intuitive gifts. Whatever this chatter is that's surrounding you, that's around you, it's manipulating and infiltrating your thoughts. And for some of you, it's confusing you. It's adding a layer of confusion that does not need to be there. Whether it's social media, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whatever it is, a lot of this chatter is creating confusion. You already know. Your higher self, the higher power, whatever you feel connected with, you get a lot of answers. Many of you are a channel, divine channel. You receive a lot of downloads. You receive a lot of information. So it's like you already know. So you're being asked to remove a lot of this chatter that's around you. Or it could be social media. Remove yourself from a lot of that. Put a boundary there because it's creating confusion. Many of you are already in your mission. You already know. Like, you know a lot. You're very in tune, very connected. What else do you need to know? What else do you need to remember about who you are? Okay? Diving into your Akashic records for Power 1. I feel like some of you may be in a tough place, where there may be some stagnancy, or there just may be like this feeling of like you need to get involved because you feel like things aren't moving fast enough or things are not going your way. And your higher self is definitely here, okay? Your higher self is like, no, everything's going the way it should go. You have to release even more control. Many of you are master souls. You're highly evolved, old souls, ascended masters, whatever you want to call it, okay? You are here to master yourself. So you have a lot of answers already within. And so if it feels like your outer world is not reflecting what you feel like, you've been doing the work, or you're in mission and you're just in alignment, but you feel like your outer world, the changes, you don't see them yet. This is the sign or the message to relinquish even more control. Let go even more. Okay? This is the Nine of Swords. This is again the mental conflict here. Many of you have mental blockages, and this is within your Akashic records as well. You have blockages in the mental space, anxiety, maybe depression, or you think a lot. You have a huge sense of consciousness and awareness, okay? Many of you have a beautiful mind. So it's easy to get lost in your thoughts. It's easy to get lost in what you hear and all the messages that's circling in your mind. You need to remember, your higher self is asking you to remember who you are, that a lot of the things that you're telling yourself are not true. Many of you need to get more into nature, because we have this nature here. You need to unplug more to get tuned in, to tune in. Tune in more with who you are, because when you're in nature and you sit in quiet, stillness, reflect, this is where you get the answers. This is where you get all the answers you need. So you're being asked to remember how to get your answers, because everything is within. One, many of you are powerful. I mean, you guys are so powerful, so gifted, so highly evolved. I feel like you don't know how evolved you really are. Okay, and you think that you have to go to these outside sources. Not to say that you don't need help sometime, or you don't need to hear it from something else or somewhere else or someone else. But put the boundary there, because it's too much when you know what it is that you need to do. Like, you hold a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom, okay? Prince of Cups. Don't forget how much you love love. Don't forget how love leads you. Don't forget your sensitivity to love. Don't forget that you love love. And it's okay to love love. It's safe to love love. It's safe to be loved. It's safe to love someone the way you want to love someone, in a healthy way. Okay? Don't forget this. Don't forget you are love. You are a being of love and light. This is who you are. This is who you are. Don't go too cold. Don't go too cold. Don't go too dark. That's not you. That's not you. Many of you may, have been in love, like romantic love, or you've had great loves, and this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be here to love and to experience and to give and receive love in an equal way. Many of you are working on being able to receive love. And this is what your higher self wants you to know. Your higher self wants you to work on receiving love even more. Work on letting someone love you. Many of you, I'm hearing, you may have recently gone through a breakup or something, or you're healing from heartbreak. And your higher self is saying, don't give up on love. Don't give up on love. You are love. Let love lead you. Let love guide you. That's who you really are. You are love. Some of you, like, your name may mean love, or you may call yourself love. I don't know, or people call you lover, or, something. Don't lose that. Don't lose it, because that's who you are. You are a lover. You're not a fighter. You are a lover. And you're here to love, and you're here to receive love. Continue working on receiving love. This is what your higher self wants you to know. Your higher self, remember who you are. And not only do you give so much love, but you need to receive as much love as you give. It needs to be in balance. It can't be just giving, and you never receive. Or you only allow yourself to receive it in a controlled way. You can't control love. You can't control love. And you may feel like you want to control it because maybe you were manipulated in the past. Maybe, you fell in love and you lost yourself, or you became codependent, or these are the things you've been healing. These are the things you've been working through. So don't allow yourself to control love. You can't control love. You can't control who you fall in love with. You can't control the feeling of falling in love and who you love. And you cannot control how it feels to be loved. We try to control it if we feel like we're going to get hurt or we want to protect ourselves. But your higher self is saying, don't control it. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I feel like some of you, I don't know, maybe you're crying. I'm getting emotional, but it's like you are love. And you're here to love, and you're here to give love and receive love. Remember that. Remember that it's a big part of who you are. 6 of Wands. You're going to have victory. You will have victory regardless of your circumstances right now, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of the past, regardless of the pain. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I feel like I'm about to cry, but I don't want to cry. I don't want to mess up my makeup. But I don't know. I feel you guys. And this could be my pile. I don't know. But, we go through I feel like this is my pile. We go through so much, and it's okay. It's a part of life. It's a part of the journey. You're going to have victory. You will be celebrating. There's going to be a reason to celebrate after the darkness. If you're in the dark night of the soul, I love you. I'm sending you so much love. It's not easy, but it's going to get better. And you're going to celebrate. You're going to have victory. You are amazing. You're a winner, regardless of how it seems. Many of you, your higher self is saying the best is yet to come. Wow, the best is yet to come. Like, it may seem like it's already been amazing, but it's going to be even better. Okay, let's see. Remember who you are. Okay, so in the past, you've been in slavery, you've been in prison, you've been, this is for many of you, this is mental, because for many of you, again, your mental, basically, your consciousness is so evolved, or your consciousness is just in a different place for many people. So it's easy for you to be in bondage within your mind, because your inner reflects your outer, okay? So your inner world, your inner reality will reflect in your outer reality. So if you feel like you've been in mental prison, or you feel like you've been in chains, or like you feel like you've gone through so much and you've never really felt free, this is some things, because we're in your Akashic records. So these are some things that have happened in a past life. You were in slavery, or you could have been in prison. These are things you're working through to free yourself. You're freeing yourself. This lifetime is about freedom. This lifetime is about freedom. It's about liberation. It's about freedom on all levels, mentally, physically, spiritually. You are free. Freedom is your birthright. Wow. Freedom is your birthright. So this is about you being free. Free with everything. Leaving or travel. I don't know why I'm so emotional. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know why I'm so emotional. I mean, Pisces season is over. it's Aries season now. I shouldn't be crying this much. But anyway, I'm feeling it, okay? Maybe I'm feeling it here. So travel is really important here. Your higher self wants you to remember the places that you traveled within the universe. And I'm not just talking about here on Earth, okay? The places you've been within the universe, where you've traveled, where you've journeyed to, where you've gone. You learn everywhere you travel. Your soul is fragmented. So many parts and fragments and pieces of your soul are scattered all throughout the universe. Okay, you have been so many places, traveled so many places. Travel is very significant for your journey. You have to travel. You have to go to these places. When you are called to travel, you need to answer the call. Take the leap of faith and travel, because this is so significant to your journey. Traveling helps you to find yourself on a deeper level. And I'm not just talking about traveling for work. When you could travel for work, of course, but when you travel for work, make time to have some pleasure within that work trip. Don't just make it all about work. Take some time for yourself to just connect, to just be there, to just be present, to just feel the energy, because you are connected to so many parts of this universe. Many of you astrally travel at night and things like that, and you connect with yourself. You pull back those parts of your soul. You're grabbing the pieces to your soul. Like, this is so deep. You're pulling it and grabbing it and calling it. You're bringing it all back in, back home. This is really deep. And so your higher self wants you to know that. And your higher self is like, surrender control. When you're told to take off of work, take off of work. When you're told to take a trip, take the trip. When you're told to go to sleep or rest, do it. Just let go of the control. Don't keep thinking like, basically like you can't take a day off, or you can't take leave, or you can't do anything like that. If you are being guided to do it, it's for a reason. Take care of yourself. This is how you will always remember who you are. Reconnect. Tune in and reconnect to yourself. You have your Father. So your higher self wants you to know that many of you are, if you're a parent, even if you're not a parent, it doesn't matter. You have a lot of paternal, maternal energy within, and you will be parenting, nurturing, whether you are a physical parent or not. Many of you will be a parent if you're not already one. But you have the tools, the capability, the wisdom, the knowledge to nurture and guide so many people. So parenthood may definitely be a part of your journey this lifetime, but if it's not, you've been a parent many times before. But you also have to remember that you have to always reparent yourself. You have to nurture yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Because in order to take care of other people, because you have the capacity to take care of so many people, but in order to do that, you have to care for you. You're your first patient, or whatever you want to call it. You have to take care of you. So your higher self wants you to know that, and that's so essential for your journey. Okay, let's get a couple more messages here. Remember who you are. What does your higher self want you to know? Your Akashic records. Many of you, I feel like maybe you need a good cry, because I just keep wanting to cry. And I consider myself a pretty healthy crier, because I cry almost every day at some point. If not every day, every other day. So maybe you need a good cry. Maybe you need to really hold yourself and hold space and allow yourself to have a good cry. That may be necessary to purge. Because sometimes we cry, it's not always about because we're sad or whatever. Sometimes we just need to release those emotions. You know, you may have a lot of pent up emotions that are just there that need to be released. So you may need a good cry, and to not judge yourself and not be harsh about it, or, you know, just let it flow and let the emotions flow and just release, because crying is a purification process, and it's a release of those emotions that need to flow, that need to be dealt with. You may be trying to control yourself in that way as well, like, you know, I'm not gonna cry, or I'm okay, or I'm just gonna keep it moving. And it's like, it's not okay. That's control again. Again, releasing control. Release control. Voice of truth, okay? Your truth. The sword here of truth. Your voice, your throat chakra. Many of you, your throat chakra is being upgraded. Your throat chakra and your third eye is being upgraded, okay? This is so you can speak your truth with confidence, bravery, fearlessness. No fear, no control, no fear. Speak your truth. And your truth may not be the same as someone else's, and that's okay. We all don't have the same truth. We're all different. See, many of you feel like you've had to apologize for your truth. You have to apologize for who you are. You have to apologize for your truth, who you are, what you're here to do. You've been misunderstood. You've been counted out. You've been perceived, you know, in a negative way, or people, their perception of you is just really not who you are. Wow. It's just this energy of no one understands me, no one gets me, no one really knows who I am. I'm just feeling like you feel like people don't, even when you want to like really reveal who you really are, you feel like people won't accept you. And that's a part of releasing that control, and not trying to control what people think, or try to control yourself, like your truth, in a way to make it palatable for everyone else. It's just about you being you, and not trying to like control the way people perceive you. I hope this makes sense. This is going to help someone, because some of you may have been trying to control your truth so much that you're trying to control the way people perceive you. And we can't control how people perceive us. We just have to just be who we are. And it is what it is. Because many of you will not be understood. It's just going to be a fact. Because you're so highly evolved. You're so sensitive. You're so gifted. You're so in tune. You're so connected and in tune with just things that people have no idea or concept about. So they're not going to understand someone like you. You're literally like an alien. And I'm not using that term to be, offensive to anyone. Please don't take it that way. You're literally foreign. You're literally out of this world. Not even foreign. It's out of this world. It's not, some people are going to get it, but most people won't. Because you're ushering in a new wave of everything. A new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of talking, a new way of doing whatever. Like you are bringing down the things that we don't know yet. No, people are not gonna get it. And it's like, we have to be okay with that. And if they do get it, quote unquote, because they really don't, but quote unquote, if they think, I feel like I'm really going on a tangent here, but someone needs to hear this. Okay, if they do if they think, because you have those people out there, you have those people like on social media, you know, who they throw some words together and everyone thinks that they just, you know, people follow that. They're like, damn, they're smart. They threw some words together real quick. And it's like, people really be listening to those people. And I really be like, those people don't have a fucking clue. But it's like this, and I'm sorry, I don't want to feel like I'm rambling right now, but just ride with me for a second. It's like this, it's like people are so quick to put, because it's human nature to put things in a box, because that's the only way us as humans, we feel like we can understand. We can't understand what's not organized or put in a box or clearly labeled as something. We don't get it, right? That's human nature. It's like, I don't get that, you know? So people label you the way they want to label you because they don't get you, because you're just too out of this world. Or if you do something in a way, it's kind of like they want to label it like this because they feel like this, or they feel like they do understand how you were trying to come off, or they feel like they do have the perception of what you were trying to say, and it goes misunderstood, or you're like, well, they really don't get what I was trying to do. So it's like, you can't control that. You can't control how people perceive you. You can't control how people are going to receive you, because 9 out of 10 they're not going to get it, and then it's just going to be some lame who's going to interpret, or so-called interpret, what you said or what you did, and it's not even like what you were trying to do. But okay, let me get back on track. I don't know why I feel like I just went on that. Okay, so facing fear. Okay, so this is again, no fear, no control. Remember, there's no fear here. Continue to let go any fear. You may have fear around your security or your root chakra, okay, that you're still healing. You are safe. You are protected. There's no need to fear anything. You are safe. You are protected. There's no need to fear anything. Continue to be brave. Continue to be bold. Continue to do what it is you're here to do. Let's get one more. Forgiveness. Your higher self wants you to remember forgiveness. Remember that forgiveness is the key. And this is again the throat chakra. All this blue, it's a lot of blue and red here. So root chakra, throat chakra. Forgiveness is the key. You have to forgive. You have to have a forgiving heart. You have to continue to always see the higher perspective. You have to continue to rise above. You have to continue to forgive. The only way you could love, give love, and receive love in an equal, healthy, balanced way is to forgive. Forgive. You have a beautiful, huge heart. You free yourself when you forgive. Forgive those who have done you wrong. Forgive those who have talked about you. Forgive those who have judged you. Forgive those who misunderstood you, treated you wrong, took advantage of you. Forgive them. Because this frees you. This is about your freedom. This is about you releasing that control. I love you. Thank you for being here. Please like the video. Keep going. We need you. You got this. You are amazing. Please like the video, subscribe, join the Capital LOVE tribe. Share the video, comment below, let me know if this resonated. If you don't want to say this resonated, just drop a heart and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I am Nicole. Welcome back to the Capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much. Here's your card. Unknown territory. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Okay. Remember who you are. What do you need to know? Then your Akashic records. Many of you, your journey has not been the easiest. Your journey has not been the easiest. The ride, it's been fun, it's been exhilarating, but it has not been the easiest. But you are exactly where you need to be. Many of you have animal spirit guides here as well. An owl, an eagle, snake, panther, elephant, crocodile, and a lizard. Okay, so you are exactly where you need to be. Your animal spirit guides are always working with you. Animal spirit guides are really prevalent for this group, for Pal 2, okay? This is really coming through very clearly. Many of you may have doubted your journey. You may have felt like you don't know if this is what you're supposed to be doing. You are exactly where you need to be. I'm feeling this energy of wanting to transition careers, wanting to, wanting a new narrative, wanting people to see you differently, wanting people to, almost like unveiling your purpose on a deeper level, or getting more in tune with adding value to the collective and feeling like, how can I do this? How can I make this more clear that this is what I'm trying to do? How can I make this more of a, it's something about changing your story, or something about changing how people see you, okay? And it's coming through that, you know, your spirit guides are here, because your animal spirit guides are here as well. And they're saying that the answers are coming, or they're being revealed to you. But you're where you're supposed to be. Maybe you've been doing a lot of healing. Maybe you've been working through a lot of shadow work, and you're feeling, because I'm feeling like this energy of a lot of inner chaos. So it may be a situation where you're really trying to, you don't know where this journey is leading you. You don't know where it's going. You don't know what's the next stop. And your spirit guides are saying, this is on purpose. Your animal spirit guides are like leading you. Like, many of you, your animal spirit guides are like in front of you. Like, we're moving to different spaces each day. Every day is a new twist. Every day is a new turn. Every day is something new, okay? But you're exactly where you're supposed to be. 3 of Cups. I'm getting this energy here. I mean, this could be a number of things, but many of you, there's something here with your love life and like your Akashic records. It's like, it's always a choice for you. This is what I'm getting. It's always like, there's always a choice to make, whether it's with your career, whether it's in your love life, whether it's in relation to like your path, your movement. There's always going to be a choice. You're always going to be given a choice. And your spirit guides are saying, remember who you are. Remember which choice, which path will be the best for you. You have the answers. You will always be put in a position to make a choice. That's always going to be the case, whether it's to make a choice of healing, whether it's to make a choice of being vulnerable, showing yourself, whether it's to make a choice of career, changing your career, moving in a new direction. You're always going to have a choice to make. And you have to let go of this fear of making the wrong choice and not doing anything. Because I'm getting this energy, some of you choose inaction over making a choice. You choose to just sit still. You choose to just not do anything. And this is what you've done so many times before, past lives. You've done this over and over again. You never made a choice. You just stood still. You didn't move. You didn't do anything. This is not the lifetime for that. This is not the lifetime to be in stagnancy. You're where you're supposed to be, but don't be afraid to make a choice. Don't be afraid to make a move. Don't be afraid to do what it is you need to do to continue to move forward on your path, on your journey. There's always going to be a choice. And for many of you, I feel like the choices that you will be given, sometimes both choices will be very attractive. And that's part of the plan. All paths lead home. Like if you choose choice A, you're still going to get to your destination, whether you choose choice A or choice B. But one of them could bring more abundance, or one of them could be just an easier route. It's all going to lead you where you need to be, but you always are going to have to make a choice. And I feel this energy for many of you that you don't like making those type of choices, when you want someone to make that choice for you, or there's just been this hesitancy that's pushed you into stagnancy. And you're being asked to remember, don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. This is what you've done, where you didn't make the choice for yourself because of fear, or because of not wanting to hurt someone's feelings, or fear of conflict, or fear of change. Okay? Five of Swords. Some of you have this, there's this energy here of like a competitive nature, or some type of, I feel like it's just like this avoidance energy. And your spirit guides are saying, it's interesting because on pile 1, the higher self came through, but for this pile, spirit guides are coming through. They're like, remember that life is always going to have duality. It's always going to be the good and the bad. It's always going to be black, white, light, dark. It's always going to be both sides. You cannot avoid these type of situations. Everything's not always going to be easy. Life will always have challenges, and you may be feeling like you're tired of challenges, or you're tired of this, or you're tired of that. But this is a part of the journey. This is a part of the path. And you've been in this place in past lives where you hid from conflict, or you were avoidant of certain situations, and you ended up being in a situation that was not for your highest good, because you were afraid or fearful, or you didn't want to deal with the consequences for what you perceived would be the consequences. And your spirit guides and your higher self is coming through now. They're like, no more being stuck, no more stagnancy. You're moving forward. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, but it's always going to be a choice. It's not always going to be the easiest situation. You came here to learn, to grow, to expand. Six of Swords. You're being asked to, what makes you happy? What makes you happy, and what is it you're seeking from life? This is a deep question, but this is coming through. What makes you happy? What are you seeking from life? You're being asked to remember why you came here. Remember why you incarnated. Remember why you want to be here. What is it you're seeking? What makes you happy? What gives you fulfillment? What gives you joy? What brings you harmony? Because this is part of your purpose. This is part of the reason why you came here. So you're being asked to dig deep. I just feel like there's just this avoidance of feelings sometimes, avoidance of honoring yourself, honoring your feelings, honoring what it is you want out of life. And that it's great. Like, you are not, like, don't feel guilty for what it is you want out of life. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel like you're not worthy. Don't feel like what you want from life you can't have. I feel like you may be telling yourself, like, your life circumstances, like maybe you feel like you made mistakes, or maybe you feel like your life choices haven't always been the best. And now you feel like you can't have joy, or you will only have a certain life because of the things that you've done, or you'll live life more in 20 years or something. I just feel like that energy, and it's not true. What is it that you really want? What brings you joy? Because this is why you came here. This is why you're here. This is what you're here to do. This is what you're here to remember. And you're being asked to dig deep. Like, you're really being asked to go there. And you may need to do this by yourself. I mean, you will need to do this by yourself. But you may need to do this in nature. Take time to be in nature, to ask yourself these questions. What is it you want out of life? It's always going to be a choice. But what will make you happy? What will really make Pao-Tu happy? What does happiness look like for Pao-Tu? Joy and harmony. Health. So some of you may be having health issues. So you're being asked. So, okay, this is the energy that I'm getting. Some of you in your past lives have had health issues, health conditions, health concerns. You may even have health issues this lifetime where you go in and out. And this is because, I don't want to make you sad. Oh my God. This reading was not supposed to be like, I don't want to trigger you or make you sad, but some of it is because you're not making the choice, or you're not really in tune with what makes you happy. What's going to bring you what's going to bring you true fulfillment, true happiness. And you may not know, but you're being asked to find the answer. And the answer is within. It's within your Akashic records. Getting this energy that some of you have had past lives where you were very unhappy, very unfulfilled, and this caused physical ailments, physical health problems, which caused you to live a life in discomfort. Okay? And you're being asked to remember that you don't have to live like this anymore. You don't have to live a life of being in poor health or having health ailments or health issues. This lifetime could be different. But what does happiness look like? What does that look like for you? Because when you're happy, everything is different. Your physical body is different. You look different. Your appearance, everything is different. Your life, your outer reality is different. So you're really being asked to dive deep. What is happiness? Many of you have to be honest. You've had past lives where you were very unhappy, where the choices that you made or no choice at all pushed you into a place of unhappiness. Feeling like you had to live your life for everyone else. Feeling like you had to people please. Feeling like your life was really not yours. You were living it for other people. And that could be what's happening now. People pleasing, or feeling like, you couldn't really be who you really wanted to be because that wasn't accepted, or that wasn't a choice to make, or you're afraid to do that. And you have physical ailments because it was a manifestation of you being unhappy. That's what this is. That's what it was in your past lives. And I'm feeling like that could be happening now. It doesn't have to be, but for some of you, it could be happening now. And it's a manifestation of the unhappiness. No one can help you find the happiness but you. But in order to obtain the happiness, you have to get clear on what does that look like. You can't go for something you have no idea, like what that feels like for you, because happiness is subjective. Everyone's happiness is not the same. Everyone's level of peace and happiness is tailored to them. But I feel like people have tried to tell you what your happiness should be. People try to control that or manipulate you, or, this is what happiness should be for you. Like Maybe with your career, like you have a great career or whatever, and everyone's like, you should be the happiest person in the world. When deep inside, you're not. So that's not really what your happiness, it could be a piece of what your happiness looks like, but what does happiness look like for Pal 2? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? Farm. So again, there's a special connection here with the animals. Your animal spirit guides, so there's a horse coming through as well. Animal spirit guides are leading the way. They're leading you to happiness. Some of you may have a special connection with animals, like you could talk to animals. You may work with animals. There's a special, you've been an animal in past lives. Some of you may have this energy of feeling isolated or feeling like no one understands you but animals, or humans don't understand you, or you feel very misunderstood, okay? So that's going to be part of letting go some of that to unlock yourself to happiness, because a lot of times if you feel very misunderstood, it's because you're not meant to be understood, or you're just not going to be understood by a lot of people, but you will be understood by the people that need to be or that deserve you. You know, deserve to have you in their life. You deserve to be in their life. You will be understood. There are people out there who will understand you. But do you want that in your life? You know, that's a deep question, but do you want that? Authority figures. So you're being asked to remember. Some of you may have this issue with, I'm getting this energy of you've been a rebel before, a revolutionary, or like, you know, against the system, wanting change, wanting things to be different, but then you've been on the other side where you were a part of the system, quote unquote, or part of the things that held people down. You know, you've been on both sides. So you may understand both sides. Many of you, again, it's this duality here, and there's always going to be a choice, even with the light and the dark. There's always going to be a choice. Are you going to choose the light, or are you going to choose the dark? You will always have to make a choice. Again, all paths will always lead home, but which choice will bring you happiness and fulfillment? Which one? You know, which one? Which one? And what does that, again, look like? Inner strength. You're stronger than you know. You have a lot of inner strength. I feel like this is also saying that there's a lot of blockages. I'm sending you a lot of love, because I feel like there's just like you feel like for some of you, I feel like you feel like you don't deserve to be happy, or you feel like you don't deserve a great life, or like you've done too many messed up things to have a nice life. And it's simply not true. It's simply not true. Everyone can receive forgiveness and redemption. Everyone can receive a new start. Everyone can receive a different side. Which choice are you going to make? You know, it's about the choice. You will always be faced with choices. Choosing no choice is what gets you in the wrong place. Tap into your inner strength to make a choice. You will always have a choice. Make the choices for your highest good. And if you don't know what that is, that's when you have to tune into yourself and get connected to what messages you need to hear so you can have that. All right, sacred vision. So this is talking about forgiveness. And again, you see this duality here. But you have to forgive. Choose to forgive. Choose to forgive the people that have hurt you in the past. Choose to forgive the people that have done you wrong. Choose to forgive anyone that's betrayed you, anyone that's lied to you, anyone that's mistreated you, that took you for granted. Forgive so you could be free. Forgiveness is the key. And this will also help you to unblock yourself and unlock yourself and find what happiness really feels like. You may feel like you'll never have happiness again because, you were happy with one person and that person, betrayed you. So you'll never be happy again. You'll never trust again. And that's not true. But if you allow that to be your choice, then that will be the case. But is that happiness? I would think not. But that's when you have to dig in and say, do you want to be chained to that? Do you want to be in prison? Do you want to live this life of moving through life like, well, I had someone before, they did me wrong, so I'm just going to close myself off. I just never even want to try. Like, that's not living. That's, again, that stagnancy in action and making the choice to be unhappy, because that's not real happiness. Being closed off from yourself and other people, that's not happiness. That's not what we're here to do. Soul expansion, your consciousness is expanding. You are growing and expanding. And I just see 222 on the clock. Whether you realize this or not, you are expanding and you are growing, and you're growing quite rapidly. But you're being pushed to find your happiness and to choose happiness and to make the choice and know that you are worthy of a beautiful life, even if you've done things that have not been the best. We all make mistakes. We all have a past. We all have done things that we're not proud of. It happens. Forgive yourself. I love you. I hope this helps. You are amazing. Keep going. You got this. You got this, pal, too. Thank you so much for being here. Please like the video, subscribe, join the capital LOVE tribe, share the video, comment below. Let me know how this resonated. If you don't want to say how this resonated, just drop me a heart and I would appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much. I am Nicole. Let's get into it. View from above. Get the big picture. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. Remember who you are. What do you need to know? So you need to know this, that you will always have the ability to see things from a higher perspective, to dive deeper into the meaning of life, dive deeper into the meaning of things. You will always have the ability to rise above, to see all sides of the situation, to be an observer, to continue to raise your level of consciousness, to continue to raise your level of awareness, to continue to expand your way of seeing, perceiving, viewing, to continue to see things again from a higher perspective, okay? You have the ability to do so. And you will always continue. Your soul is saying you will always have that ability to do it. Now it's about you tapping into that and you seeing things from a higher perspective. And when I say that, that means having more compassion, having more empathy, having more of like when someone betrays you, it's so easy, it's hurtful. It hurts a lot, okay? However, when you continue to expand and see the different angles of the situation and to rise above and see it from a higher perspective, you can understand that, not to say that the person was right for betraying you, but they may have betrayed you because they're wounded, they're hurt, they're broken. Someone did it to them, or someone hurt them, or because they have their own challenges or issues. And this is why they did the thing that they did to you. That's having more empathy, more compassion, seeing things from a different lens, a different perspective. Okay, that's really expanding yourself. So you have the tools and ability to do that. But your higher self is saying, are you going to really tap into that? Your ancestors are here as well. They want you to tap into that ability that you have because they don't want you to get stuck. They don't want you to get stuck in these situations. They don't want you to be, not moving forward in life because of these things, because of the pain, because of choosing not to see things from a different perspective, a higher perspective, because you have the tools, you have the wherewithal, you have the knowledge and the wisdom to do so. So they want you to tap into that energy. And also see things as it pertains to you. Like, if you were betrayed, what did you need to learn? What did that teach you about yourself? What did that teach you about that situation? What did you learn from that situation? How can you improve? Seeing all sides of the situation. It's not always easy to do, but you have the tools to do it. You're gifted in that way. The Hierophant. Your soul wants you to remember. Your soul wants you to remember your strength, but your soul wants you to also remember your divinity and your connection to source, the universe, the higher power, whatever it is you resonate with. Your soul wants you to remember that. To remember how deep your connection is, how deep it runs, how deeply connected you are. You're so deeply connected. Mind, body, spirit here. You are very deeply connected. You're very powerful. You're very strong. You have a lot of divinity. You hold a lot of light. Your soul always wants you to remember this and carry this with you as you move through your journey. This is something that you cannot neglect and you cannot forget. You are highly spiritual, faith-based, religious, whatever it is you resonate with, you are highly that. You're very connected. You have so much wisdom. Your soul wants you to remember the wisdom that's there, to continue to tap in. Continue to connect mind, body, spirit. Continue to connect. Continue to learn. Continue to grow. Continue to expand because you are very deeply connected. And this is why I'm saying you have the tools to see things from all different perspectives, sides, and not get stuck. Not get stuck with the one way. Not get stuck with the one way of thinking. Don't limit yourself. Your soul does not want you to have any type of limits. The Moon. You're very deeply connected to the moon phases. Some of you may be into astrology, or you may be, you have a gift with astrology. Your soul wants you to remember your gift with astrology and how connected, deeply connected you are to the mysteries of life. Some of you may be into the occult or into esoteric type situations. Your soul is saying, don't limit yourself. Don't be afraid of all the things that you can do. For example, if you are Christian or Muslim, don't be afraid of the esoteric side of life. Don't be afraid. There's light and dark with everything. It doesn't mean it's evil. It doesn't mean, everything. This is about seeing the big picture. Because when you continue to grow and rise, you see how there's a duality to everything. And everything can be inverted. Everything can be turned dark. Even the most beautiful things of light can be turned dark. Your soul wants you to remember that. Your soul wants you to remember how many of you, even regardless of whether you're religious or whatever, you have a lot of esoteric knowledge. You have like the connection to the occult. You have deep gifts with like astrology and esoteric type things, and like it runs deep for you. It's don't limit yourself. There are no limits here. See it from a higher perspective. See things that everything can work together. There's a light and a dark to everything. Don't choose the dark. Always choose the light, because again, this is you. Like, you're very connected here. Don't forget your connection to the higher power, to the universe. Let the moon guide you. Dive into the dark. Dive into the dark in a healthy way, and don't be afraid of what you see. Don't be afraid of your darkness. Don't be afraid of your dark side. It's not here to scare you. It's here to be integrated. You see? It's here to be integrated, to be illuminated, to illuminate that darkness within. Don't let the darkness scare you. Everyone has a shadow, but it's about integrating it and loving yourself through the shadow, through your shadow aspects. Don't be afraid of the different layers and sides that you have. Many of you are old souls. You're highly evolved. We see here, it's like a grandmother here. Grandmother moon. The moon phases are prominent here. The moon phases, and so like with the moon changes like every 2.5 days or something like that. The phase of the moon. So something here you need to be writing this down, journaling your moods, or journaling your energy, or journaling your feelings, and working with astrology. There's something very particular about your moon placement, the way it is either aspecting, or something about your moon placement in your natal chart. Whatever sign your moon is in, it's something very special with that, with your journey. You're meant to continue to uncover, to unlock and uncover. And this helps you rediscover who you are, dig deeper into who you are. You are a warrior, Prince of Swords. A warrior, strong. Your soul wants you to remember this. Remember your strength. Remember your dignity. Remember you cannot be compromised. You cannot be bought. You've sold your soul in the past lives. This is why I keep saying, remember your connection to source, with the higher power. In your past lives, you've sold your soul. You sold yourself off. You compromised yourself. You compromised your dignity, your divinity. This is what you're forgiving, because you've done this in a past life where you've given up. You've neglected your relationship to source, or the universe at higher power, because of money or fame, or whatever it was that you wanted, the earthly material things, you gave it up. So you're forgiving this part of yourself. Don't forget your connection to source. You're so connected. Forgive yourself, because I feel like many of you are having a hard time. You may not even remember this, but this is activating you, so you will remember. This is the activation. If you don't remember, you will. Forgive yourself for this. This is a past life. You have a new lifetime, a new journey. You're doing it differently. Don't forget. Your soul is like, don't forget how connected you are, how loved you are. You're so loved. Don't let this world make you feel like you have to sell your soul. It's not true. Don't make this world make you feel like you have to compromise who you are to fit in, or to feel good enough. Because that's what you've done in a past life. It's not true. You're so connected. Don't forget who you are. Remember who you are. That's who you are. You are so spiritual, or faith-based. Or you have a lot of faith. You have a lot of love. You have a lot of light. You're not, this person of the world who will sacrifice themselves for money, for fame, for shoes, for purses. Don't sacrifice who you are. Okay, so we have Greco-Roman. So your soul wants you to remember, again, this is for me, this is the warrior energy. I'm going to get another one. This is the warrior energy. This is the warrior within you. You're a fighter. You are a pillar for many people. You are a source of light and hope and strength. People look to you for strength, whether you realize this or not. You are a leader. You're leading people. You've led people before. This is why I'm getting that energy of like you led people and then you sacrifice your soul or you sacrifice who you were, your divinity. And you're feeling that guilt. You're feeling the guilt for like leading people down the wrong path. Like you may have been like a leader. You may have been a religious leader or something like that. And you led people because you sacrificed yourself for money or fame or whatever. And people followed you. And you feel guilty behind that. You may even feel like there may be some hesitancy about stepping into leadership now because you feel like you don't want to turn dark. Some of you are afraid of your shadow. You're afraid of integrating your shadow. Your shadow scares you. That darkness within that you feel, it scares you. And you're being asked to illuminate it. Illuminate that because those parts of you is not who you are. That's not who you are. You're not this monster. You're not a terrible person. Integrate this into the light. Bring it into the light. There's a duality to everything. Wars and battles. For some of you, your soul is asking you, reminding you of the war and the battle. You still have wounding. You have wounds from the war, the battle scars you're still holding on to. And your soul is like, it's time to let it go. It's time to forgive. It's time to see things from a higher perspective. If you were a war leader and you felt like you led your people into disaster or harm and things like that, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for this energy. You are strong, but the strongest leaders still have to deal with different situations, still have to aren't always going to win or be, it's the strongest leaders and the best leaders still have where they're not always going to have all the answers or they're not always going to do every single thing right. And that's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Unrequited love. So your soul is asking you to know or telling you that you are your own love of your life. Don't forget that. You are number one. You are your own love of your life. Will you have a beautiful, amazing love here on earth? Yes. But it won't happen until you become your own love of your own life. You have to be so in love with yourself because you're healing unrequited love. You're healing being rejected in love. You're healing loveless situations where you didn't feel like you received the love that you were giving. You weren't being loved the way you were loving. You didn't receive the love back that you should have received. And it's because you have to love those parts first. You have to fill the voids. You have to put the love there. You have to really be in love with yourself and be 100% complete and whole. And then someone will come in and compliment you. Okay, food and hunger. So for me, this is always scarcity. So you're working through scarcity as well. Your soul wants you to remember that you've dealt with being in poverty, being, dealing with food hunger issues and stuff like that. Maybe you feel connected to like helping people who are homeless or helping people eat or making sure people eat and things like that because you've dealt with that. You know what it feels like to starve. You know what it feels like to go through that. So your soul is like, don't forget those parts of yourself that could be a part of your mission, but also know that that's not always going to be your story. Because you dealt with that before doesn't mean you will keep dealing with it. You can continue to release these parts of yourself and let it go. Heal those parts of yourself and let it go. That's not always going to be the story for Pile 3. That's not always going to be the narrative. You're healing it and letting it go. Letting go of scarcity, letting go of lack mindset, lack consciousness. You're always going to be provided for. You are protected. You are so deeply connected to Source. Like so deeply connected. And you need to know that. Let's get a couple more. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, Mercury, open communication. So this is about your soul wants you to know that you always have to communicate. You are a clear and effective communicator. Communication is a huge part of your gift. You're being asked to clearly communicate the best way you can and communicate with love. Let love lead your communication. Always lead with love. You are a leader. You are strong. You have a lot of strength, a lot of capabilities. But like it says, speak up with love and be heard. When you don't communicate clearly or you don't communicate your needs, really ask yourself, your soul wants you to ask yourself, do you communicate your needs? Do you communicate what it is you need, even to yourself? Do you communicate your needs and your wants to yourself? Do you communicate your needs and wants with other people? And if you are communicating that, is it clear? Are you speaking with love? Are you speaking from a place of fear or scarcity or survival? You know, really think about that, okay? Because you are an effective communicator, but you have to speak with love. Part of your communication style is, you know, because you are that leader, okay? So you have to be this clear and effective communicator. Supreme protection, this is what I was saying. You're very protected. You're very connected. You're very protected. You're divinely connected, divinely guided, divinely protected. There's nothing you need to worry about. You just need to forgive yourself, love yourself, be the love of your own life. Because you're healing that unrequited love. You have that from past lives as well. The rejection energy, not feeling good enough, or feeling like you have to do so much in order to be loved, or do so much in order to feel loved. It's not true. You have to love and accept yourself. And you're being asked no limits again. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself in one way of being. Don't let your shadow scare you. Dive into your soul, unlock your soul, your Akashic records, dive even deeper. There's so much there. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what comes out. This is about integration and unlocking your wisdom. Transcendence. Rise up. You are a leader. You are a leader. You're transforming and transcending to lead. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for in past lives when you were the leader and people were killed or people were hurt. Forgive yourself for that. Okay? Because this is a new lifetime. You still feel that energy, but forgive yourself for it. That's not who you are anymore. You're leading with love and you're being guided by the light. No limits. Trust yourself, trust your inner guidance, trust in your protection, walk in your protection. So if no one told you that they love you today, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. You got this. You are strong, stronger than you know. Keep going. Please like the video. Please comment below. Let me know if this resonated. If you don't want to say how this resonated, just drop me a heart. Share the video. Subscribe. Join the Capital LOVE tribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading.